Good afternoon. Welcome to Storytime from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. The story we have for you today comes from the Native American tradition, and specifically comes from the Cherokee people who are originally from the southeastern part of what is now the United States. This is a story that takes place very, very, very early on in the history of the world. And it's a story about the importance of getting along. This is the story of the first strawberries. Once long ago, when the earth was new, the Creator made two people, a man and a woman, and he made them at the same time so that they would not be alone. And the man and the woman, they got married, and they were very happy together for quite some time. The man would go out and hunt, and he would bring home the meat. And the woman would take care of the house, and harvest the crops, and prepare the food, so that it was ready when the man came home. And when the man came home and he was done eating, he would help fix things around the house, and he would help in the gardens, and they were very happy together. Well, one day, the man came home from the hunt, and he found that his supper was not ready. In fact, the woman hadn't even started cooking it yet. She was out in the field picking flowers. Well, the man was tired, and he was hot, and he was a little grouchy. And so he went out to the field, and he looked at her, and he said, "What are we supposed to eat? You haven't started the dinner. Please tell me you're not going to expect me to eat the flowers." Well, the woman was hurt by this, for you see, she had seen the beautiful flowers, and she wanted to share their beauty with her husband. And so she had been picking the flowers to put them in the house so that she could share them with her husband when he came home from his hunt. So she felt very hurt that he had thought that she was not going to take care of him and feed him, and that he did not see the beauty of the flowers. And she said to him, "You have hurt my feelings. I do not like the way you have spoken to me, and I am not going to live with you any more." And she turned to the west, and she began to walk. Well, she kept walking, and she didn't stop. And she didn't turn around, and she didn't look back. And before too long, the man realized that he had been more than a little mean, and that perhaps he should not have spoken to her that way. And he began to feel sorry for the bad words that he had said to her, the mean words that he had said to her. And so he started walking after her to try to catch her. But she was walking very fast, and he could not catch up. It did not matter how fast he walked. He could not catch up with her. But he kept trying. Now, the sun was looking down from the sky, and the sun saw all of this happen. And the sun watched as the man walked as fast as he could to try to catch up with his wife. But the wife was walking faster. And the sun leaned down from the sky, and the sun said to the man, "Are you sorry now for the mean words which you said to your wife?" And the man said, "Yes, yes, son, I am very, very sorry for the mean words that I said to her. But you see, she is walking so fast, and I cannot catch up to her." And the son said, "Well, if you are truly sorry, then I will help you." And the son went, and he shone down on the ground in front of where the woman was going to walk. And do you know, from that ground grew up raspberry bushes full of plump, juicy, ripe red raspberries. And the woman walked up to them, and she looked at them, and then she kept on walking. She was still angry. Well, the son thought, the raspberries did not work. I will try again. And so the sun shone down on the ground in front of where the woman would walk. And up from the ground grew bushes covered in beautiful blue, glistening blueberries. ripe and plump and juicy, just perfect for eating. But the woman didn't notice, and she walked right on past the bushes. Well, tried red. I tried the blueberries. Raspberries, blueberries. Let me try again, said the sun, and it shone down even harder this time, and more bushes grew up, filled with beautiful, glistening, blue-purple blackberries. Ripe and juicy and plump and big. And the woman looked at them, and she plucked one blackberry off the bush, and she popped it in her mouth, and she kept on walking. Well, the sun thought, well, I've tried the raspberries, I've tried blueberries. She did notice the blackberries. I'm going to try one more time. And this time the sun shone down on the ground as hard as he could and did his very, very best. And do you know what grew there? Was plants all across the ground. Kind of low, only about this tall. But growing on those plants were the most beautiful, glistening, red, plump, ripe strawberries. And I don't know if you've seen strawberries growing, but they are very eye-catching. They're bright red, and you can see them, and they look so beautiful and so juicy. Well, the woman saw them, and she just could not stop, could not pass them by. She had to stop. She had to stop and pick a strawberry. And she picked the strawberry, and she put it in her mouth, and she tasted it. And it was delicious. She had never tasted anything like it before. And do you know, the sweetness of that berry reminded her of all the happy times that she had had with her husband. And she thought to herself, I was hurt by my husband's words, but I am sure that he did not mean them. And I would really like to share these wonderful berries with him. I will pick him some, and I will take them back to him. And she got down and she began to pick the strawberries. Well, she was still picking the strawberries as her husband came over the hill and saw her there. And just as her husband came up to her, she stood up and turned around to go back and take him the berries. And her husband said to her, I am very sorry for the mean words that I said to you. I did not mean them. I was just tired and grumpy, and I should not have been mean to you because of that. And the wife said, I forgive you, and I am sorry for walking away from you. And look, I have brought you wonderful, wonderful berries. I think we shall call them strawberries. They taste wonderful. Try one. And the husband did. And he and his wife went back home together, and they lived very happily. And from that day to this, every year, when the strawberries grow, the Cherokee people remember that life is sweet, and that they must always remember to treat each other with kindness and gentleness and respect, for those things are just as sweet as the nice, ripe, red strawberries. And that is the tale of the first strawberries as it comes from the Cherokee people of North America. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time here in the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. We will have another story for you from somewhere around the world. Have a great day. Bye.